So these Toniebox things are pretty cool, right? You get these little characters, you can sing along with them, they'll tell a story. Kids love them, right? So that's all great and wonderful. So now you spend $100 on this little box here, then you've got to buy each little character for like 15, 20 bucks. So smart thinking. Good job, guys, but if you're a parent, anyway, they're cool. I mean, look, you got Woody, so that's all great and wonderful. So, if you're around my age, 30 plus, Disney movies, kind of bring back some childhood memories. That's cool. But anyways, so now we got all these characters, so what are we supposed to do? Just throw them in a box and get them lost, or just junk them up? No. What you do is you get a nice little shelf. Go on Etsy, Amazon, or if you're like me, you're going to build one. And lucky for me, this is a woodworking channel, so that's what we're going to do. But anyways, my wife bought this one, and I thought it was pretty cool because it's got different levels, comes with these cool little ladders, and got the little holes in the back here so you can kind of move the shelves, right? So if I wanted this one over here or over here, I can put it wherever I want, which is all great and wonderful. But here's the problem with this one. It doesn't fit every character. So they're, like this shape here. And you can put it anywhere you want, whatever level. But this is like the only one we have that's going to fit here. So if we've got little Frozen right here, right, she has to go up here or on top because she doesn't fit. She's too tall. And I can't change the height of these. I can only change half the distance. So the box has to go like over here, or I have to take out a bar to put it here, or put it on top. But pretty much the only good spot we have found, if we do this kind of setup, is like right here, right? So put that on the edge, and then the tall characters have to go on the top. So what we're going to do is, even Woody, he's pretty short, and he doesn't even fit on here. Look at that. That's pretty sad. So over here by himself. Anyways, so what we're going to do is we're going to recreate this with our own dimensions, and I will share those in the plans and everything and the description down below. Oh, there goes the ladder. But I do like this little ladder, so I'm going to reuse these. I also found them on Amazon, so you can buy your own and add them if you were to create this. So anyways, let's get to it. So the shelves are about 14 3/4 long, and this back piece I think is a little bit shorter than that. It's at about 14.5, it looks like. And then so some of these characters, Woody, he's like about 3 inches. Elsa here, she's about 4 inches. So we're gonna have to make these at least 4 inches apart. And right here, let's see how much space are they giving us right now? About 2.5. So we're gonna have to change that up. So each of these are gonna have to be 4. And I like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I like having 5 shelves. So we're gonna have to account for this being 4 inches apart from each other. But otherwise, I like the 14.5 dimension here. So we'll keep the shelves 14.5, and we'll see how big I want to make that one. So on top of it being an easy project, all you're gonna need is some wood that's about 3/8 thick, some screws that are about 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and if you like the old school Donkey Kong style game, get yourself some little ladders so you can put them on there. Now, one thing to mention, I realized that this one is about 5/8 thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get 2 of my pieces, glue them together, and make some dados. Or optionally, if you don't want to do the dados, then what you could do is just cut out these little chunks that you're going to need, and you can glue those up. But for me, I think it's going to be easier just to make one solid piece, glue it together, and then we're going to run our blade through it. Or I might try it on the router. Let's see. So I'm going to start with this big sheet of plywood, taking it, measuring out 14 3/4 so we can start making the shelves. And I'm going to need 7 pieces. My rip fence all set up. I'm going to run it through. And each strip is going to be about 2 1/4 inch wide. So set your miter up there, lock her in place. If you guys don't already have a crosscut sled for your table saw, you should definitely make one because they're really nice to have, and it makes everything nice and smooth. It's gonna make your job a lot more efficient than having to change, tools. Because I was about to have to go move over to the miter saw to make these cuts, but we're gonna just go through the sled here. So they're a little long, so I need to cut off about 7 inches here. So We're going to set our stop block up 7 inches from the blade here. Right about there. So after I cut out all 7 shelves, I realized that I said 7, and I do need 7, but they don't all have to be the same length, because the 2 back pieces need to be longer, because I need 4 inches in between each space versus 2.5 like the original shelf. So I'm going to make a couple more strips, that way I can make the back piece a lot longer. Aren't you guys happy I'm here to do all the screw-ups for you? So that way, if you follow along and you don't mess this up, then you'll know. But like I said, I'm going to have the plans down below with the dimensions, so now you won't mess up the cuts like I do. So now on this back strip, we're going to measure out, starting at the bottom, going 2 inches up, and then 3/8 from there, to make room for your piece. And then we're going to go 4 inches up from there. Let me move this because I'm not good at math. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to mark that. That's going to be the bottom of the line. Another 3/8 up. So what we're doing is we're marking all our spots for where we're going to put our shelves. That way I have 4 inches in between each one. So after you got all that marked, the final dimensions of these are just under 2 foot. So 22¼ inches. Alright, time to glue this bad boy up. And when it dries, we're going to make some dados in it. And while we wait for the glue to dry, we're going to measure out all our hole lines, where we're going to drill our holes in the wood here. So starting, they're going to be 1¼ inch apart each. So starting at the end here, 1¼ inch, 2.5, 3¾ 5 inches, so on and so forth. So now that we've got all our lines drawn out, we can get our handy dandy drill block, because I don't have a drill press. And if you don't have a drill press, I suggest you invest less than $10 to get this bad boy, and it's going to make things a whole lot easier. So we're going to use the 1/8 mark, right? We're going to line that up here, and you can also use the 1/2 inch right here, so you can kind of see. I don't know if you can in there, right? So you can line up your lines. So there's that. Trying to do this on camera is a little difficult too. And then line this one up, and those look pretty good to me, and we're going to drill it in. Another cool thing I just noticed, if you guys are using this like me, look, everything lines up. I can almost have that come straight, and that's going to go over my next hole. Then I scoot it over, kind of line it up right about there, and boom, look, everything lines up. That's where all my holes are going to be, so that's pretty cool. Alright, got all the holes done. That wasn't too bad. Only took about 15 minutes. And just waiting on the glue to dry, so I'm going to go play with the kids and we'll come back. Alright, glue is dry. Now all we've got to do is cut our dados into our base here, right? So whatever method you have for cutting out that, go ahead and do that. You can do it on table saw. If you have a dado that'll do a 3/8 cut. I got my table saw sled, and I could do it with a single blade and just run it a couple times, but I think I'm going to go with the router here, because I've got a 3/8 router bit, right? So we're going to set that up here. Alright, now we've got all our lines routed out. So the next thing we've got to do is drill our holes, so that way we're going to be able to put our shelves in there and it'll hold it in place. And I want to be able to take this on and off the wall, so because when you do the holes there, you're going to need to be able to move the shelf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put screws on the bottom and the top, so it'll be easy to put on the wall and take off. And since this is for my kids, I definitely want to make this super smooth, so I'm going to go ahead and sand it. I was going to use my router and kind of round over the edges here with a round over bit, but I decided I like the square look, so I'm just going to get sandpaper and just kind of sand over a little bit on the edge, but not make it too round, but definitely smooth enough where it's not sharp or anything for them. We're going to hit it with some 100, 150, and finish with some 320. I would just do 240, but I don't seem to happen to have any of those on hand. Then I just need to repeat that 5 more times for all my shelves. Alright, she's done. All that's left now is to install her and do the reveal. If you guys want, you could always paint it or stain it, but I like this natural look here, so I'm just going to leave it as is. It's so smooth. I love sanding. And to help me set this up, I'm going to use my trusty little laser level here. I'm going to set this up, and we're going to get this installed. I'd also say this thing is a marriage saver, because if you ask my wife, I can't put anything up straight to save my life. Good thing is, this thing is self-leveling, so all I gotta do is turn it on, and it'll balance itself out. As long as you're on a flat surface. And now that I've got my pilot holes drilled, I can get my bigger drill bit for my anchor. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put some anchors on the wall too, because we're gonna be taking this thing on and off the wall if we ever want to change where the shelves are, how long they are on one side, and vice versa, because if you remember, when we screwed it in, the holes are all on the back. So I'm going to have to unscrew this, slide this over, and re-screw it in if I ever want to change the shape or size of this when we have it on the wall. And that's why I love this laser level, because now I don't have to get a pencil and make markings on my wall. Alright, looks pretty good. Now the real test. Time to get approval from the boss. What is that? What is that, Madeline? What do you do with that?
I put Rapunzel.
You gonna put Rapunzel on there? Oh my goodness, she fits. What else? What else are we gonna put on there?
Floor lava.
Floor's lava? Okay.
Next to her.
Alright, where should we put your Toniebox? Okay, put the dog up there. Put the dog on there. Get your box out. I can't get it out. Pull it up. There you go. Okay. What shelf should we put it on? Should we put it over here? Should we put it on here? Right there? Oh, that looks like a good spot. Look at that. Oh my goodness. We should put a character on there, huh? Let's dance. Which one? Oh, look. We got Elsa right here. Can we put Elsa on there? No puppy dog? Okay. Let me help you.
Our wheels on the bus
Go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show.
And again, don't forget to check the description down below. I'm going to have a link for a downloadable PDF of the plans for this with all the dimensions and everything. And for those of you who enjoyed this video, you might also like this video for this rustic farmhouse DIY blanket shelf I made. It showed you how I did it step by step. It's one of my earlier videos, so don't laugh. But before you go watch that, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up on this video, and go check out this other one. See you there.